Have you ever wondered why the man who seems utterly indifferent to the chaos of the dating world ends up with women orbiting him like stars drawn to a black hole, while the one who chases, pleads, and performs like a circus act is left in the dust, heart shattered and ego bruised? It's a riddle etched into the fabric of human desire, a truth that pulses beneath the surface of every flirtation, every glance, every whispered promise in the dim light of a crowded bar. In the labyrinth of female psychology, what women really want in a man isn't a checklist of superficial traits. It's the raw embodiment of masculine essence, a force that commands respect without uttering a word. Picture the archetypal alpha, not the brute of Hollywood fantasy, but the stoic warrior who stands unmoved by the tempests of emotion, his presence a gravitational pull that awakens the ancient instincts wired into her very being. Women, in their deepest evolutionary core, crave a man who embodies strength not through dominance, but through unyielding self-mastery. Evolutionary dynamics whisper this truth. Survival once depended on the protector, the provider who could navigate the wilds with calm assurance. In the 21st century jungle of swipes and superficial connections, this translates to a man who doesn't beg for validation, but exudes it from his core. He is the one who understands sexual polarity, the magnetic dance between masculine resolve and feminine fluidity. She doesn't want the nice guy who orbits her like a satellite, showering her with compliments that ring hollow because they stem from desperation. No, she yearns for the man who sets boundaries like Seneca advised, controlling what he can and letting go of the rest. His discipline a shield against the siren calls of fleeting desire. Consider the modern dating scenario, a woman surrounded by options. Her phone buzzing with messages from men who pour out their souls in digital confessions. Yet, her eyes linger on the one who remains detached. His confidence a quiet storm that stirs her intrigue. Why? Because in the red pill reality of attraction, social proof reigns supreme. He is seen with value friends who respect him, pursuits that ignite his passion, a life so full that her presence is a choice, not a necessity. This man has internalized Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. He doesn't chase, he attracts. His authentic presence a beacon that draws her in, compelling her to qualify herself to him. Imagine you're that man for a moment. Yes, you watching this, feeling the weight of past rejections. What if you stopped pedestalizing her, stopped molding yourself into what you think she wants, and instead forged yourself into the unbreakable version of you? The shift is seismic. It awakens her feminine essence, making her feel safe to surrender, to chase the enigma you've become. But let's delve deeper into the psychological undercurrents. Women are wired for emotional complexity. Their attraction, a tapestry woven from subconscious cues. Evolutionary psychology reveals that hypergamy, the drive to seek a mate of higher status, isn't greed, but an instinct for security. She tests, probes, pushes boundaries not out of malice, but to unearth your true mettle. The man who crumbles under her shit tests, who apologizes for his desires or shrinks from conflict, signals weakness. In contrast, the empowered masculine archetype holds frame, his self-respect a fortress. He embodies Epictetus's teaching. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When she throws emotional turbulence your way, a late reply, a flirtatious glance elsewhere, he responds with amused mastery. His detachment, not coldness, but the freedom of a man who knows his worth. In today's hyper-connected world, where dating apps reduce humans to pixels and profiles, this dynamic intensifies. Most men fall into the trap of performative masculinity, flexing gym selfies or boasting achievements to impress. But women see through the facade. They sense the validation seeking like a predator smells fear. What she really wants is the man who lives with intention. his discipline manifesting in every aspect from the gym, where he sculpts his body as a temple of strength, to the career where he builds empires not for applause, but for personal conquest. This is the red pill insight. Attraction isn't logical. It's visceral, sparked by the man who polarizes, who dares to be polarizing. He understands that vulnerability isn't spilling emotions like a leaky faucet, but revealing strength through controlled authenticity, sharing scars not to seek pity, but to demonstrate resilience. Now, provoke yourself. Have you been the supplicant, bending to her whims, hoping compliance buys affection? Feel the sting of that truth, the way it erodes your soul. Shift now, embrace the Stoic path, where self-mastery breeds unbreakable confidence. Women respond to this energy. It's the spark that ignites desire, turning casual encounters into magnetic obsessions. In the dance of modern romance, he who masters himself masters her heart, not through manipulation, but through the sheer force of his elevated being. The journey demands courage to walk away from toxicity, to set standards that filter the unworthy. As you internalize this, watch how the dynamics invert. She begins to invest, to pursue, drawn to the man who needs nothing, yet offers everything. Yet this inversion isn't mere fantasy. It's the alchemical transformation born from relentless self-forging, where the man who once groveled for scraps now dines at the table of abundance. In the shadowed arenas of female psychology, attraction blooms not from grand gestures, but from the subtle art of emotional leadership, guiding her through the storms of her own desires with the steady hand of a captain who fears no wave. Evolutionary whispers echo here. Women, shaped by millennia of selective pressures, are drawn to the provider who radiates abundance, not just in resources but in spirit. The man whose inner world is a kingdom so vast that her entry feels like an honor bestowed. He doesn't pedestalize her beauty. He appreciates it as one star in his constellation, his detachment a velvet rope that heightens her longing to cross. Observe the archetypal beta, ensnared in the web of oneitis, his world narrowing to a single woman. His texts a barrage of neediness that suffocates the spark before it ignites. She pulls away, not because she's cruel, but because his clinginess signals scarcity, a man adrift without her anchor. Contrast this with the red pill sage, who cultivates options not through deceit, but through genuine social prowess networks of allies, pursuits that sharpen his edge, a life pulsating with purpose. Social proof cascades around him like a force field. Women notice the way others gravitate, their subconscious tallying his value in the currency of desirability. In 21st century dating, where algorithms curate illusions of choice, this man hacks the matrix by becoming the prize. His confidence, the silent proclamation that he is whole without her, yet elevated with her, provoke the fire within. Imagine discarding the chains of approval-seeking, that insidious habit that has you second-guessing every word, every move. What if you embraced the stoic indifference of Epictetus, recognizing that her moods, her tests, are not yours to control, but opportunities to demonstrate your unshakable core? Feel the liberation as you respond to her emotional volatility, not with defensiveness, but with playful challenge, turning her chaos into chemistry. This is the essence of frame control, the masculine art of holding your reality firm, inviting her to step into it rather than contorting to fit hers. Women crave this polarity. It's the electric tension that charges the air, awakening her femininity in response to your grounded strength. She doesn't want equality in every exchange. She yearns for the dance where you lead with quiet authority, your decisions laced with the wisdom of Seneca, who taught that true power lies in self-command. Delve into the behavioral tactics that etch this archetype into reality. Discipline manifests as the unseen architect, the man who rises at dawn to conquer his body, not for her gaze but for his own sovereignty. sculpts a physique that silently communicates vitality. In conversations, he listens with intent, his words sparse yet piercing, drawing her out like a master interrogator unveiling hidden treasures. He employs the push-pull of attraction dynamics, moments of intense connection pulled back with strategic absence, stoking her imagination in the voids. Red pill realities demand this. In a world of endless distractions, the man who vanishes gracefully, pursuing his missions, becomes the ghost that haunts her thoughts. Evolutionary psychology underscores it. Absence amplifies desire, mimicking the hunter's scarcity that once ensured survival bonds. Consider the modern minefield of mixed signals. She flakes on plans, tests your resolve with ambiguity. The empowered man doesn't rage or plead. He mirrors her investment, his self-respect a mirror reflecting her actions back. If she withdraws, he advances elsewhere, his abundance mindset, the antidote to scarcity's poison. This isn't gamesmanship, it's alignment with natural laws, where attraction thrives on challenge, not complacency. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Redirect yours from fixation on her to elevation of self-books devoured, skills honed, adventures claimed. Women sense this inner alchemy. It radiates as charisma, pulling them into your orbit with the inevitability of tides to the moon. Yet, beneath the surface, emotional depth simmers. She wants a man who understands her psyche's labyrinth, the way past heartbreaks forge walls, how societal pressures mold her expectations. The archetypal masculine penetrates these not with brute force, but with empathetic insight, his presence a safe harbor where she can unfurl without fear of judgment. He shares vulnerabilities selectively, not as weakness, but as badges of battles won, fostering connection that transcends the superficial. In the red pill lens, this authenticity breeds trust, the foundation upon which passion builds. Provoke yourself further. Have you allowed fear of rejection to mute your desires, to suppress the bold moves that define a man? Unleash them now. Approach with outcome independence. Your courage, the spark that ignites mutual fire. As Stoic principles intertwine with evolutionary drives, the man emerges not as conqueror of women, but as sovereign of self, his aura an irresistible force in the chaotic symphony of modern love. This sovereignty isn't born in isolation. It thrives in the crucible of real-world trials, where the man tempers his resolve against the flames of rejection and the chill of indifference, emerging as a blade honed to perfection. In the intricate web of female psychology, women seek not a savior, but a mirror of their own potential, a man whose self-mastery inspires her to rise, his discipline a silent call to her own hidden strengths. Evolutionary undercurrents drive this, just as ancient tribes flourished under leaders who embodied resilience. Today's woman is magnetically pulled toward the man who navigates life's tempests with the calm of a stoic emperor, his presence evoking a primal sense of security amid the digital disarray of fleeting connections. Observe the archetypal chameleon, the man who shifts his essence to please, diluting his core until he's a shadow of authenticity. Women detect this forgery like a wolf scents prey, their attraction withering in the face of inconstancy. She craves consistency, the unyielding rock against which her emotional waves crash without eroding its form. Red pill insights illuminate the path. In an era of instant gratification and disposable bonds, the man who cultivates patience, who delays gratification to build tension, becomes the rare commodity that commands premium desire. He understands sexual polarity as a cosmic balance, the yang to her yin, his assertive energy complementing her receptive flow, creating a harmony that electrifies every interaction. Social proof amplifies this, surrounded by a tribe that values him. His status isn't boasted, but inferred, drawing her into the fold, like gravity claims a wandering asteroid. Now, turn the lens inward. Feel the weight of your past complacencies. Those moments when you compromised your standards for a fleeting smile, only to watch respect evaporate like morning mist. What if you reclaimed that power, setting boundaries as firm as Seneca's resolve, declaring through actions that your time, your energy, are treasures not squandered on the unworthy? This provocation stirs the warrior within. It demands you audit your life, excising the habits that drain your vitality, endless scrolling, validation from likes, the poison of pornography that dulls your edge. Replace them with pursuits that forge masculine fire, the iron of the gym, the wisdom of ancient texts, the thrill of calculated risks that expand your domain. Women respond viscerally to this evolution. Your transformed aura becomes the unspoken signal that you're a man of substance, not surface. Behavioral tactics weave seamlessly into this tapestry. In conversations laced with subtext, he employs calibrated teasing, a playful jab that tests her waters while revealing his wit. Turning banter into a bridge of intimacy, he masters the art of qualification, subtly probing her values to ensure alignment. Not out of insecurity, but from a place of abundance. Why invest in soil that won't yield? Evolutionary dynamics affirm this selectivity. Just as females in nature choose mates who prove fitness through trials, she subconsciously assesses your ability to discern, to lead without apology. In the 21st century arena, where ghosting and gaslighting abound, the empowered man counters with radical honesty, his words a scalpel cutting through illusions, fostering trust that blooms into unbridled passion. Consider the emotional charged underbelly. Women, bombarded by societal scripts of empowerment, often mask their longing for surrender behind walls of independence. The archetypal masculine pierces this veil with empathetic dominance, sensing her unspoken needs and fulfilling them not as a servant, but as a king granting favor. He draws from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, viewing her tests as invitations to demonstrate poise. His response is laced with amusement that disarms her defenses. Detachment here is key, not aloofness, but the freedom to walk away, echoing Epictetus's dictum that we suffer more in imagination than reality. This courage to depart from mismatch ignites her pursuit. Scarcity breeds value, transforming you from option to obsession. Provoke the depths. Have you lingered in toxic entanglements, fearing solitude more than mediocrity? Shatter that illusion, now embrace the void as fertile ground for growth, where self-respect blooms into unbreakable confidence. In modern dating's Colosseum, the man who walks away with head high sends ripples through her psyche, her hypergamous instincts urging her to reclaim what she perceives as lost treasure. This is the red pill alchemy, turning pain into power, rejection into redirection toward worthier horizons. As stoic wisdom merges with primal drives, he becomes the architect of his destiny, his life a testament to masculine principles that not only attract, but sustain profound connections. The dance intensifies, her femininity unfolding in response to his unapologetic strength, creating bonds that defy the superficial churn of contemporary romance. Yet, this path demands vigilance against complacency. The man who rests on laurels finds his edge dulled. Continuous self-mastery through meditation, reflection, relentless improvement ensures his value appreciates like fine wine. Women, attuned to these subtleties, gravitate toward the one whose growth is perpetual. His evolution, a magnetic force that promises adventure, stability, and the thrill of the unknown intertwined. In this perpetual evolution lies the heartbeat of true masculine allure, a rhythm that synchronizes with her deepest yearnings, transforming fleeting sparks into enduring flames that illuminate the shadows of relational doubt. Female psychology, layered with evolutionary legacies, responds to the man whose growth isn't a performance but an intrinsic force. Like a river carving canyons through sheer persistence, He becomes the embodiment of potential realized. His journey a siren call to her own aspirations. In the archetypal narrative of attraction, women are not drawn to stasis. They crave the dynamic tension of a partner who pushes boundaries. His discipline a forge where weaknesses are hammered into strengths, inspiring her to mirror that ascent. Red pill realities strip away the illusions. In a world saturated with mediocrity, the man who invests in his intellect, his physique, his spirit, stands as a colossus among dwarfs. His value self-evident in the quiet confidence that needs no validation from the masses. Observe the pitfalls of the uninitiated, those men who plateau after initial conquests. Their complacency breeding boredom in her eyes, she drifts. Not from fickleness, but from an innate drive toward vitality. Hypergamy steering her toward peaks untrodden. The empowered archetype counters this with stoic vigilance, drawing from Epictetus's counsel to focus on what is within control, channeling energy into self-refinement that radiates outward. Social proof evolves here. As he ascends, his circle elevates, women witnessing the gravitational pull of his orbit, their curiosity morphing into compulsion. In 21st century dating's relentless churn, where connections flicker like faulty neon, this man builds legacies not just in wealth or status, but in the intangible empire of character. His presence a sanctuary, where she feels both challenged and cherished. Provoke the slumbering giant within. Gaze upon your reflections of stagnation. Those days lost to inertia, where potential atrophied under the weight of excuses. What if you ignited the stoic fire now? Committing to rituals that sharpen your edge, the pre-dawn meditations that center your mind, the calculated risks that expand your horizons, the unyielding pursuit of excellence that turns ordinary into extraordinary. Feel the surge as this discipline reshapes you. Your confidence no longer borrowed but forged. Attracting women who sense the depth beneath the surface, their femininity blooming in the warmth of your authentic light. This is the essence of sexual polarity amplified. Your masculine drive propels forward, inviting her receptive energy to flow alongside, creating a synergy that defies the entropy of modern disconnection. Behavioral tactics anchor this transformation in the tangible. He masters the art of emotional calibration, reading her cues like a seasoned navigator charts stars, responding to her warmth with amplified connection, to her chill with measured withdrawal, always preserving his frame as the unassailable constant. Evolutionary psychology reveals the wisdom in this dance. Women test for resilience. Their probes a subconscious vetting for a mate who withstands life's sieges. The red pill man navigates these with amused detachment. His responses infused with Seneca's philosophy of enduring with grace, turning potential conflicts into catalysts for deeper bonds. In conversations, he weaves stories of triumph over adversity, not to boast but to illustrate the stoic path, subtly qualifying her to share in his world, ensuring mutual elevation rather than one-sided drain. Consider the emotionally charged undercurrents of vulnerability. She yearns for a man who unveils his depths without crumbling. His scars narrated as conquests that humanize without weakening. This controlled revelation fosters intimacy, her walls dissolving as she recognizes a kindred spirit in resilience. Yet, in the red pill lens, he guards against overexposure, maintaining mystery as the spice that sustains desire. Marcus Aurelius's reflections guide him. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. In practice, this means embodying principles through action, walking away from drama with the poise of a king abdicating a tainted throne. His self-respect, the compass that points true north. Now, stir the embers of your own resolve. Have you silenced your instincts, muting bold desires to avoid the sting of rebuke? Unleash them in measured fury, approaching with the outcome independence of a hunter who savors the pursuit, not just the prize. As you internalize these tactics, watch the dynamics shift. She invests more, her actions mirroring your elevated standards, drawn to the man whose life is a masterpiece in progress. The courage to set boundaries becomes your superpower, filtering the superficial and inviting the profound. In the symphony of modern romance, where chaos reigns, this stoic harmony resonates, pulling her into a rhythm where passion and purpose entwine. Yet, this allure deepens in the realm of inner alchemy, where the man confronts his shadows, the insecurities that once sabotaged connections, transmuting them through relentless self-inquiry. Women, with their intuitive radar, detect this inner peace, their attraction amplifying as they sense a foundation unshakable by external tempests. Evolutionary drives align with Stoic tenets here, forging a man who not only survives but thrives, his presence a beacon in the fog of fleeting affections. This beacon pierces the veil of superficial entanglements, illuminating a path where masculine freedom reigns supreme, unshackled from the chains of external validation that once bound lesser men to cycles of despair. In the profound depths of female psychology, women are inexorably drawn to the man who embodies this liberation, a sovereign entity whose worth is self-declared, not begged from her gaze or the fleeting nods of society. Evolutionary imperatives echo through time. The survivor who thrived independently, unbound by dependency, ensured the lineage's continuity. In today's fragmented dating landscape, this translates to the man who cultivates an inner fortress. His confidence, a deep-seated flame that warms without consuming him. He walks through the world with the clarity of standards etched in stone, discerning the worthy from the ephemeral. His choice is a testament to self-respect rather than scarcity's desperate grasp. Observe the archetypal prisoner, ensnared by the illusion that her approval defines his existence. His every action, a plea for affirmation that erodes his essence like acid on marble. Women sense this fragility, their attraction recoiling from the void where self-assurance should reside. Contrast this with the red pill liberator, who has internalized Stoic wisdom. Seneca's admonition to desire only what is necessary. Marcus Aurelius's call to live as if death looms. Epictetus's reminder that true chains are those of the mind. He sets boundaries not as walls, but as gateways, inviting only those who elevate. His power to walk away a silent thunder that reverberates through her subconscious. In 21st century courtships, riddled with ghosting and games, this detachment becomes his greatest ally. He departs from mismatch with the grace of a warrior sheathing his sword, his independence a magnetic void that pulls her back, reevaluating her stance in the light of his unyielding value. Provoke the final awakening within. Stare into the abyss of your own dependencies. Those moments when you clung to validation, like a drowning man to driftwood, only to sink deeper into self-doubt. What if you severed those ties now, embracing the solitude as a forge for unbreakable resolve? Your standards, a compass guiding you toward authenticity over appeasement. Feel the rush of masculine freedom as you prioritize your path, indifferent to the whims of approval, your confidence blooming from the soil of self-mastery. This shift inverts the dynamics. She pursues not out of obligation, but genuine desire, captivated by the man who needs nothing from her, yet offers the world through his elevated presence. Social proof manifests organically here. Your life, rich with purpose and uncompromised joy, becomes the evidence of your worth, drawing women who crave the stability of a partner unchained by neediness. Behavioral tactics crystallize this freedom in action. He communicates standards with crystalline clarity, not through ultimatums, but lived example declining invitations that dilute his energy. Investing only where reciprocity flows. Evolutionary psychology affirms this. Women, wired for security, test boundaries to confirm a man's resolve. The one who walks away passes with flying colors, his departure a proof of abundance that heightens her investment. In the emotionally charged arena of intimacy, He maintains polarity by leading with detached passion. His touches and words laced with intention, never desperation. Red pill insights demand this vigilance. Recognize when efforts yield diminishing returns, and pivot with the stoic poise of one who knows loss is merely redirection. Consider the culmination of these principles in the dance of long-term attraction, where initial sparks forge into enduring bonds, sustained not by possession, but mutual respect. The man of deep-seated confidence understands that true connection arises from independence intertwined, each partner a complete entity enhancing the other. He draws from Stoic philosophy to navigate conflicts, viewing them as opportunities for growth rather than threats to ego. His response is measured and empowering. Women respond to this with unveiled authenticity, their guards lowering in the presence of a man whose freedom inspires her own. In modern dating's turbulent seas, this archetype sails unperturbed, his inner compass true, attracting companions who match his caliber rather than drain it. Yet, the pinnacle of this journey is the profound realization of inner sovereignty. The man who has transcended the need for external mirrors, his worth an internal sun that illuminates all paths. He walks away from toxicity not with bitterness, but wisdom. His clarity and standards, a filter that preserves his essence. This masculine freedom, woven from discipline and detachment, breeds a confidence so profound it reshapes realities, drawing women into orbits of genuine admiration. In the grand tapestry of attraction, he stands as the unchained force, independent, resolute, a beacon of self-mastery that commands without demand. The man who knows his worth chases nothing, he attracts everything.